has been approved on the finance bill without a single minute's discussion. This is not the way parliamentary democracy is supposed to function. Let's protect and safeguard our democracy. The future of our country depends on it.
The BJP meanwhile hit back at the opposition with Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman leading the charge, calling Rahul Gandhi a repeat offender.
He is now becoming a repeat offender in terms of putting baseless allegation against the Prime Minister.
The opposition united when convenient versus Narendra Modi. These images sum up what the 2024 battle is all about. Bureau Report, India Today.
So, congregation of the corrupt versus democracy under threat, which is the opposition versus Narendra Modi. As cliche as it sounds, and we've done so many debates on that, it seems the narrative is narrowing down on that where 2024 is concerned. Let's cut across to our political panelists this evening. Joining me is Sanju Verma, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party, Swati Malik, spokesperson Congress, Professor Manojit Mandal, political analyst, TMC sympathizer, Rahul Srivastav, national affairs editor. Before we go to our political guests, I want to bring in Rahul Srivastav into this conversation. Rahul, you know, I would reckon in the last 1 month, you and I have debated ad nauseum whether it's going to be the Prime Minister versus an opposition, which only seems to be coming together because it's versus the Prime Minister, because on most other accounts, it's still fragmented.
Preeti, in politics, it depends on which side you are viewing the political narrative from sometimes that a narrative gets defined. Why I say that? In the last 1 month, we have discussed this topic again and again. Primarily, we have seen on different occasions, for different reasons, the opposition coming together. Now, in that, it could be 14 parties coming together on some X issue, 13 parties today deciding to boycott the evening tea by the speaker, 14 parties planning to take out a march, and X party staying out of one congregation and Y party joining in. But we have eventually been talking that are they uniting? Now, in that scenario, we can say that somewhere Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP seems to be preparing for a showdown. Now, instead, if we look at it from the other side, this coming together, is the BJP planning to utilize it? Now, is the BJP planning to make it as its main poll plank? Can it do that? Now, these are the two sides we have seen as far as the political picture stands today. But I think everything will depend on whose narrative is stronger. If the opposition comes together and we think Modi and BJP is reacting X, Y, Z, then the opposition narrative has to be strong to become dominant in the politics and dictate the elections. Similarly, the BJP has to create a more stronger narrative. And that is why I'll say the unity and coming together, a lot of these things do not have much meaning up till and unless there is a strong narrative and there is a unity and cohesion, which is tangible. It cannot be an intangible kind of a element. For example, we have seen that the opposition and the government got together on the narratives, have destroyed the budget session. 34% productivity in Lok Sabha, 24% in the Rajya Sabha. You had 64 amendments to the finance bill, no discussion. You had in 2018, we had 218 amendments to finance bill without debate. I think that's where lies the catch. You have suddenly today Prime Minister Narendra Modi bringing an added element to the politics, connecting India, realizing greater powers like Bajrang Bali. It used to be Bharat Mata. Now today it is Bajrang Bali. That saffron, that polarizing, that Hindutva element being brought in, the Hindutva, Matrabhumi, Prem. I think it's a very interesting narrative being built. I think we are at a crossroad. We'll have to wait for some months.
We'll have to wait to see how it develops there. But Swati Malik, you know, the opposition might call you a congregation of the corrupt. That aside, the question I want to ask you is this not a congregation of convenience? Because like we've been pointing out, where is that one narrative which is in unison where the opposition comes together? You decide when you want to walk together. A party decides they don't want to be with you at one point of time. The TMC didn't join you today. Where is an actual narrative to take to the people other than a narrative which is built at the back of being anti-Modi?
Preeti, the narrative that the opposition is together is very clear. And you would have seen it not just in this budget session, but the sessions before that as well. There have been demands by the opposition, the combined demands by the opposition for that matter. So the narrative has been it's been very clear. It's not about be against BJP for that matter. It's for the welfare of the country that the opposition has come together. Whether the petition was dismissed or not, on what grounds it was dismissed, is a different debate altogether, which I'm happy to if you want to.
Because it was a badly put together petition. Swati Malik, you're a lawyer, you should know that yourself.
I'm not able to hear you clearly.
Because it was a badly put together petition, Swati Malik.
No, the petition for that matter, it was not dismissed on merits. The Supreme Court doesn't state a word on merits. All it says is that come as individuals and we'll look after you. That's all it says. So it does not give a green check to ED or to the government.
That's incorrect, Swati Malik, but please make your point.
I think there's some audio problem, Preeti. I'm not able to hear. There's a lot of
all right. We're going to try and connect back to Swati Malik. I want to get across to Sanju Verma from the Bharatiya Janata Party. But Sanju Verma, my question is, you call the opposition that the need of them coming together is because they're all corrupt. It's interesting because the opposition turns around and says, when you choose that a person is not corrupt any longer, you take them in. The sheer fact, look at Conrad Sangma. You fought an entire election on how Conrad Sangma and his party was corrupt. But what happened? Lo and behold, you are in governance with them, in bed with Conrad Sangma. So how does someone believe that whether the opposition is corrupt or not? Because you decide when they are corrupt, when they are not.
Okay, Preeti, that's a very interesting question. And, I'm reminded of a famous Hindi saying, बड़े बेआबरू होकर तेरे कूचे से हम निकले, बड़े बेआबरू होकर तेरे कूचे से हम निकले, बहुत मेरे अरमान निकले, बहुत मेरे अरमान निकले, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ कम निकले, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ कम निकले. And why I'm reminded of these panktiyas, to put it colloquially, is because the opposition, Preeti, has been repeating with brazen impunity the same mistakes over and over and over again. I think the question that you asked was very pertinent, and your question has the answer itself. Because the only binding glue amongst the fractious and electorally vanquished opposition is an anti-Modi narrative. I have this to ask. Apart from abusing the Prime Minister, apart from saying Modi teri kabar khudegi, apart from somebody like Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, a senior Punjab Congress leader and not just another wannabe, saying Modi ko marna hai, tabhi Hindustan bachega, jab tak Modi nahi marega, Hindustan nahi bachega. So the point I'm trying to make in a very limited sense is this. Is there a common minimum program with respect to the economic policies that the opposition plans to introduce, were it to come to power, which obviously is not going to happen, but hypothetically speaking, is there anything by way of what they have to offer to the electorate, given that Modi won with 17.6 crore votes in 2014 and won with 23 crore votes in 2019, which is a 31% jump in 2019 over 2014. I have this to also add, Preeti. Assuming that Prime Minister Modi does not see that massive 31% jump in his electoral base in 2024, because we all know that the law of averages seems to catch up at some time or the other, irrespective of how much charisma you have. Even assuming that the BJP only sees a marginal 15 or 16 or 17%.
But Sanju Verma, the deal is, the charge is that the BJP only sees winnability and an election. The taint of corruption is of convenience for the BJP, where they can run an entire election on calling someone corrupt and the next day be in bed with them politically.
Preeti, I'm just about to finish what I was saying. My simple logic is this, that each time you abuse the Prime Minister, each time you undermine the electoral prowess of the Bharatiya Janata Party, you are not undermining Narendra Modi or Amit Shah or JP Nadda or our election machinery, for want of a better phrase. You are undermining the credibility of the Aam Janta. You are undermining the intellect of that.
But okay, I'll ask you this again, Sanju Verma. Are you not undermining the intellect of the Aam Janta by running an entire election multiple times by calling someone corrupt and then the next day make a government with them?
Okay, Preeti, to your very simple question, I have this to say, and I have said this ad nauseum not only on your channel but on umpteen debates across various television channels, the names that keep coming up to me, which opposition throws, oh, Himanta Biswa Sarma was, supposedly corrupt.
I'll give you Conrad Sangma, madam. I'll give you the latest example.
Yes, Conrad Sangma. Okay, let me, Preeti,
and I will quote
a question.
The most corrupt political party, the most corrupt leader.
To that.
Yes, madam. Go ahead.
Preeti, you asked me a question. Just indulge me for a bit. It's a good debate we are having. Be it Himanta Biswa Sarma, be it Conrad Sangma, be it Narayan Rane, be it Suvendu Adhikari, these are the names that keep cropping up. So I'm throwing a gauntlet at the opposition. Himmat hai, saboot hai, you have the proof, you have the documents, go and knock on the doors of the High Court and the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Don't sit here and indulge in
I want to bring in Monojit Mondal, but Sanju Verma, on that basis, that means that Amit Shah going ahead and saying that this is the most corrupt government ever. This man is most corrupt.
Yes.
It's the most corrupt party.
The BJP to the court.
So the gauntlet is thrown by your own.
Can I come in?
But look, Monojit Mondal, my question to you is very simple. I want to come to you on a different question, and that question is no. You might go to town and say the washing machine of the BJP. Let me come back and ask you one question. Where is the TMC? Yes. What is your ideology with the opposition? You were not in the march today, but you signed in on the 14-party petition which went to the Supreme Court. Is this just politics of convenience where you deem fit, you put your name in, where you don't, you put yourself out?
No, I'll answer the question, but let me call out my good friend BJP and their fight against corruption. How hollow
it's a little rich, but go ahead, Mr. Mondal.
No, please. Forget about these accused people, Himanta Biswa Sarma, Suvendu Adhikari and Conrad Sangma. They have formed the government in Haryana with the convict, the family of convicts. Om Prakash Chautala, Ajay Singh Chautala, son, father and son are in jail, and they have formed the government with their grandson. What are you talking about? Forget about the accused
Suvendu Adhikari,
Himanta Biswa Sarma, Conrad Sangma.
There's a split in that party in Haryana.
Can I?
IND and JJP are two different political outputs, is what I'm telling you.
About Haryana government. They have formed the government with a party or with a family which is a convict. The family of convicts, 2 generations are in jail. With the 3rd generation, they have formed the government. They talk about fighting
corruption. But JJP has nothing to... Okay, 1 second. Dushyant Chautala heads the JJP. Mr. Monojit Mondal, he's not a convict. Let's not get into this. Just because somebody's father, somebody's grandfather has been convicted about something, let's not get into that.
Then, did you remember, then when the government was being formed, these 2 persons were in parole to have celebrate that formation of the government, father and son. Please go and check your archive, you'll find the picture, the videos.
Sir, okay.
What are you talking about?
Where does the TMC, Monojit Mondal,
I'll tell you.
Where does the TMC stand with the opposition?
The TMC stands with the people. The TMC stands with all the like-minded party which is genuinely fighting the BJP. My General Secretary, Mr. Abhishek Banerjee, has categorically stated, in fact, to your channel, to Rajdeep Sardesai, that we are with all the like-minded party who will genuinely fight the BJP. But in the name of fighting BJP, there will be some kind of compromise and the parliament will not be allowed to function. Why? The parliament was not being allowed to function by the ruling party. They were sloganing.
Fair amount of confusion there. I want to go back to Rahul Srivastava and the Congress spokesperson.
You have passed the bill, finance bill within 12 minutes.
Okay.
50 lakh crore bill is passed within 12 minutes without any discussion. What are they scared of?
Rahul Srivastava, classic politics. Whatever question you ask any spokesperson, you're getting no answers on that, but everything else.
Preeti, that's going to be a problem. See, the problem is that they are all right now in the process of filing the petitions, not before the Lok Sabha Speaker, Rajya Sabha Speaker, but the public. And when they are filing their petitions, they want to be heard. All political parties want to be heard. And in that process, eventually, whatever charge X levels against the other, it sticks only when the public is listening to that party or a leader. As long as that keeps happening, a charge will stick or may not stick. And that is why I say right now, what is important is not just unity, a narrative and a reason why people are coming together, or why the BJP thinks that the unity is bad or good for the country. And that is why in the coming days, we will see many voices, because see, as Sanju Verma very nicely brought in Mirza Ghalib, I'm very happy that it happened. There is a poetic element to the arguments by the BJP. हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले. Thousands of aspirations are going up in the air ahead of 2024. But one thing, I will, since there is nobody defending Mirza Ghalib, that there was one error in the first shades, he said. It says, निकलना खुल्द से आदम का सुनते आए हैं, लेकिन बहुत बेआबरू होके तेरे कूचे से हम निकले.
Sanju Verma, you don't know who you messed with in terms of poetry. You can't quote Ghalib in front of Rahul Srivastav on the on the bulletin. That aside, I want to come back. Okay, Swati Malik, I hope we have you back. The question that I asked you is, what is the narrative? Because right now to the public, the narrative seems to be that we've all come together because we don't like the Prime Minister.
Preeti, the narrative is not because we don't like the Prime Minister. The narrative that the opposition has already set out is against the policies and the wrongdoings of this government, which is against the welfare of the country, of the public. That is what the narrative is. We are all in it together. We are all in this fight against the malpractices of the government is what the opposition has gotten together. And as far as the Supreme Court petition about the 14 parties which had signed and which was dismissed. Now, as I was pointing out earlier, Preeti, it was yes, I know, withdrawn, sir. I know, sir. I'm very careful about these. Withdrawn, dismissed as withdrawn at this stage, which was after addressing the court after a long time. I understand that, and what I'm saying is that the Supreme Court does not pass any observation on the merits of the petition. It is only on the local
Madam, can
standard.
I quote the Supreme Court? Can I tell you why it was withdrawn?
Please do.
Why did Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who's representing all of you, which includes the TMC, why was the petition withdrawn? Because the Supreme Court says that if you think politicians are bigger than the normal citizens, then you are mistaken.
Preeti, I agree
and
with this, and I'm sure.
So
yes,
let's not get into it. And we're not discussing. We're not discussing.
No, Preeti, let me just clarify the other part that the Supreme Court also quoted. Please quote the other part where the Supreme Court also said, come to us as individuals and we will protect you. That
yes,
is what
as
it also
individual
said.
citizens, not as political entities and political outfits. Yes.
Exactly.
Correct. But it does
Therefore, anyway, okay, the fact that it was badly drafted, not drafted, what the merits or the demerits of that are, it has been withdrawn, it's off the table. So that brief opposition unity which came together with the 14 parties signing
has been together.
Briefly. Where was the TMC today?
I will tell you.
Where was the TMC today, Swati Malik?
Wait, Preeti, wait. Yes, all I'm saying is that the opposition has been together on the JPC demand as well. Correct? There also the opposition has come together.
TMC doesn't want a JPC. TMC doesn't want a JPC.
But opposition again.
TMC doesn't want a JPC.
I'm sure the TMC spokesperson will be able to answer them better than me. But what I'm trying to say is here the opposition is together, whether it is about the farm laws, whether
Madam,
it is
that's
about
the problem
JPC
because you are together, but you're not together. But having said that, Monojit Mondal, I'll come back to Sanju Verma. I know you want to come in. I want to pull you in. Where were you today in that Tiranga march? You don't think democracy is under threat?
Can I answer? You asking this to me?
Yes, sir. You.
No, but there can be some differences. It doesn't mean that we will not come together. We are waiting for the opportune moment, maybe after the election, to unite. Definitely that will happen. And look at the statistics. You have already given BJP the victory. Without understanding, go to the left side of the India map and come to all these 6-7 states where BJP doesn't even exist. And these states are constituting about 200 seats, 220, starting from Bengal to Kerala. Apart from Karnataka, which they are going to lose very soon, BJP will not even fetch 20 seats, I tell you. If the opposition will definitely come together to fight 1:1 on this particular seat, there will be a game, khela hobe. For BJP, I tell you.
Okay.
BJP
the point
will
is,
not even cross
Sanju
150
Verma,
mark.
the point is, and I'm going to quickly get in last final words in this.
States,
Okay. Sanju Verma, the fact is what Monojit Mondal is saying. What actually the BJP wants is the opposition to come together. They want to make Rahul Gandhi the rallying point of it. And that is exactly what regional satraps like the TMC don't want. Because if this election is what most political analysts would also say, is fought on a regional level, then it's trouble for the BJP. Otherwise, if it's all against Modi, then it's Modi which prevails.
Preeti, that's a very interesting and a very nicely worded question. I have this to say, before answering you in 10 seconds, a rebuttal to the opposition. ताउम्र गालिब मैं ये भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पर थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. So I think the opposition needs to do a bit of Atmachintan. I did not heckle you. Please keep quiet.
Don't heckle. You've had your chance. No, you've had your chance. No point. No, you don't want me to do that to you. You don't do that. Can I just get Sanju Verma? Sanju Verma, make your point. Sanju Verma, make your point. Can we just get Sanju Verma? Go ahead, Sanju Verma.
Yeah, thank you. Preeti, like I was saying, these famous lines basically endorse the fact that the opposition needs to do a whole lot of Atmachintan and introspection, and I will tell you why. While they can deny...
Can I just get Sanju Verma? Can I ask our producer just to get Sanju Verma? Go ahead, Sanju Verma, make your point.
Okay, thank you. Preeti, while the opposition can go red in the face denying the fact that they are certain to lose 2024 and dare I say 2029 as well. I have to just point out, since we are discussing this entire issue of corruption, to me what was the highlight of yesterday's verdict by the Supreme Court are these lines by Chief Justice Chandrachud when Abhishek Manu Singhvi kept hammering certain data to showcase how the ED has a very poor conviction rate, how the opposition is being targeted by way of vendetta politics. CJI Chandrachud, and I'm quoting him ad verbatim, when you say that space for the opposition has shrunk, the remedy is in that space, the political space, not the judiciary. So my limited point is, if you want to fight Narendra Modi, come out with a minimum program.
Sanju Verma, there was something else also the Supreme Court quoted yesterday which says being anti-government is not anti-India or anti-establishment. But that was a different order. I just want to get in Rahul Srivastava for a quick comment before we close the show, Rahul. Lots of poetry being quoted, but as you see it from here on, I'm very sure next week we're going to be sitting here, there'll be another issue and we're going to have exactly the same debate.
Preeti, while we have been having the same debate, I would like to give a certain statistics, is that in the last 14 days of the second half of the budget session, every member of parliament, 780 of them got 2,000 rupees every day. 14 days, 2,000 rupees, 28,000 rupees. And the average amount of work, the maximum work they did on any one of the days since March 13th was 24 minutes. It's a point to ponder that how long will this continue and what cost will this continue at? Each minute of parliament functioning works at 1 lakh
citizens of this country. With that, I'm terribly out of time. I apologize for those who wanted to come in, but thank you, all four of you, for joining us and trust us to keep you up to speed with all the latest news, especially the political news as we run up to 2024, the narratives as they form and as they disband. A quick break. Up next is Rahul Kamal.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
women in Uttar Pradesh are shining bright, and how. In the state of UP, nearly 50% of the startups are headed by women, smashing all patriarchal stereotypes. Out of 8,714 registered startups in the state, over 4,300 are run by women entrepreneurs. Anushka Srivastava founded Animist Earth, which deals with eco-friendly handicrafts and traditional products. This has been her dream, which she says she's finally conquered.
हॉबी को आप पैशन को कैसे आप मनी में कन्वर्ट करोगे, तो वो उस लिए मैंने एक ई-कॉमर्स वेबसाइट शुरू करी जहाँ पर बेसिकली ज़्यादातर विमेंस एंड हाउसवाइफ्स और आर्टिजन्स हैं, ठीक है, जिनको हम लोग प्रोडक्ट जो लोग बनाते हैं उनके प्रोडक्ट की हम लोग अपनी वेबसाइट पे लिस्टिंग करवाते हैं.
In the outskirts of Lucknow, Vandana Singh's business of eco-friendly incense sticks is thriving. She's now running a successful business both offline and online.
इससे जो हम लोगों का लाभ हो रहा है, इससे करीब 7 महिलाएं यहाँ पर रोजगार कर रही हैं. मेरी भी आर्थिक स्थिति पहले से बहुत अच्छी हुई है. जो सबसे अहम चीज़ है वो ये है कि ना तो लोन लेने में किसी तरह की दिक्कत हुई और ना बैंक से ही हमें किसी तरह से परेशान किया गया.
The state IT department also provides an extra 50% financial assistance to women entrepreneurs, which has been a big boost to their businesses.
फाइनेंसिंग के जो ऑप्शंस हैं, चाहे अगर हम बैंकिंग की बात करें या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की भी बात करें, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने अपने बजट में भी अनाउंस किया था 1000 करोड़ रुपए का स्टार्टअप फंड बनाने के लिए. तो योगी सरकार तमाम सारी चीज़ों में महिलाओं को और भी प्राथमिकता दे रही है. तो मुझे लगता है कि तो जो वो उस स्टार्टअप फंड जो उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार बना रही है उसको भी महिलाएं अवेल कर सकती हैं.
There are countless stories like that of Anushka and Vandana in UP. Inspirational women who are now steering the wheel of change. With Shilpa Sen in Lucknow, Bureau Report, India Today.